Ah. Not attached to the steering wheel, so it doesn't dip into the dark when I turn. But I kind of like the idea of following the path of the steering wheel. Air quality there. Not the best. Drive. It's always worth it.
Beacon of hope for all of us who want to continue and be functional into old age. Dan Shore was himself a lesson. John Chambly in Athens, Georgia says when more
sweet energy this morning. It is a little low-key. It's nice. So just let yourselves open to the influences from the outside. But now as we're moving forward, you just want to begin to open all of those pores tight. You really want that sense of all of you, the chambers of your heart, where your dreams, your hopes, your memories, all your stories are held. Feel the energy as it travels between the chambers of the heart, opening up those passages. The energy in the shoulders tumble down into the upper arms, the elbows, the lower arms, the wrists, and the hands. Again, just notice how it's feeling today, heavy or light. It's different every time. Place those balls of energy, ignite it to light it up. Move on to the next. Unhook it, unsnap it, let gravity pull it into alignment, give it support, and to expand, really letting go. Letting it all. I want you to find your source of light. Like firelights, really specifically. Reach out and touch a few things so that you have their texture, their temperature, their weights before. It may be a person, it may be an object, it may be something that would have been object, or a painting. It's a partnership or whoever you're in relationship to expand that environment. You may have created a place that you know very well. You may have created something quite unusual and different. I want you to allow yourself to really fully encompass the environment you're in, and allow
She repeated quietly but ominously. For a moment, Corbett thought she didn't understand what he had said until he was forced to duck the glass of gin and tonic that came flying towards him. It nicked whose special division? The light dawned slowly on Corbett. The British
afternoon away, finding respite from the guilt and long unresolved pain through the balm of sleep. Next day, same thing. But when I awoke on Monday, hung over with grief, real physical sadness passed. And so I spoke. I called a friend and cried. I cried and cried about how I'd wanted it to be a perfect Christmas prepared. Your mother spent her last Christmas with the woman who gave birth to her and the woman she gave birth to. I've always thought I was my mother's child, and I am, most definitely. I have to realize that something my mother said to me once was because experiences are the things that make up the adventures of life. They're not always pleasant, but sometimes they are. I lived with curly hair all my life. No matter how she rolled it, she could never, ever control it.
But I think the journey that you've gone on, I mean, I love how you said the memoir will come back to you, it will bring yourself. You said an interesting thing in here that I just didn't want to let pass, not meaning to want it, that's not necessarily so.
She leaned on the door frame as she adjusted the belt on the robe. The thick yellow and blue striped terry they'd bought at the hotel they had stayed in Venice, on the Grand Canal, with the bow in the mirror now, looking at her at the door in the door frame. She swallowed, feeling nothing going down her body. Her face. Deborah noticed the sparse hair on his chest had gone grayer, so almost invisible, and that his skin was...
It's that sense of, when you're in a bad place in a relationship, there's no way out, there's no escape.
Nakedness of it.
Yeah, her realization is somewhere in that word.
And then it gets better and better. And then the last part of it is they don't even know each other, they pass each other on the street.
Oh, that's
Oh,
That's great.
Oh,
That's
wonderful.
fabulous.
Day, or a second canyon route 10 miles north. The thought of sitting in traffic made his head pound, laying a twitching finger on the volume of the stereo on his pillow. Fanning out her skirt against the green soupiness of the chair, she nestled in to watch and wait. Amelia, she felt only the sloshing of the current.
Although here we don't need it. In New York, I used to want that gift all the time. The stuff that you do with, I'm also interested for that to be cut away so that she can be released and free from the heaviness. And research. You have to write about the cave. You started doing it with the two-piece the last time.
He made his way up the maze of steps. The bottom floor of the house was dark. Shadows and light thrown from the sea lit the rooms, all shades of gray, stone blue, and jade green. Turning. The dark Henry watched a path of crimson travel up Livy's neck to her cheeks, where its ruby stain exploded. Her lips curled tightly. On his right hand was a blue lapis ring.
But it's absolutely riveting. We have, what's so wonderful about it, you who are newer to this, is that we've lived with these kids. You're so good with the atmospheric stuff, following the mahogany, stairs, one stair at a time to a landing, one stair to a landing. And then what you begin to do with these...
Drop in the textile, what you're touching. And that's kind of what I went for today. I just led
Well, we felt it.
that. I even was telling my mom one time, and she's like, how's it going? I'm like, they're not doing anything, and I'm about